What's up, guys? On today's episode, I'm here at SpeedsportTuning and we're working on this amazing race car, but it's been wrapped, and most race cars around here have some sort of livery on it. This particular one is blue. As you can see, it hit a tire, they bumped up against each other, obviously scratched a lot of the wrap itself, but today's episode is going to be about how to polish that out, or in other words, how to remove scuffs and a little scrapes, if you will. Not so much the gouges, because once the vinyl is gone like this, there's not a whole lot you can do, but these little scuffs you can actually remove. So that and a lot more coming up on this episode of Drive and Protect. All the way in, so that they touch up paint on. You can hear it. Okay, for step one, you just take some Goo Gone or some sort of degreaser, spray it on your microfiber towel, and then of course, rub it in. As you can see, I've been doing this and I figured, hey, I should probably shoot a quick video on this. It might be helpful to somebody who has a wrap. There's some rubber that came off of it. I wouldn't say a whole lot, but if you take the Goo Gone or whatever degreaser you have and kind of work on it a little bit, you can soften it up a bit. But in this case, I spent, I don't know, maybe 5-6 minutes and did that on most of the car, most of the issue here, and it didn't really come out. You can see a little bit, but not enough to write home about. So the next step is I took the 3-inch. I'm not gonna go 6-inch just because I think it's probably gonna have a lot of heat going on, and these little spots are relatively small. So if you have a 6-inch or a 5-inch, that's probably good too, but I'm going with the 3-inch. I think it might be a little bit better. Then you're gonna use a microfiber cutting pad. Now in the years past, I shot a video, probably one of my first videos, on a Mustang. And I was taking off rubber marks on a Mustang, and I did it with a microfiber pad, because these things pick up, they grab and they hold, but they fill up fast. So, and that worked well on paint, but now we're obviously working with this, film now, this vinyl, and I wanted to see if we can do it. And because this most likely will get rewrapped, just because it's, it's all ripped here. I kind of wanted to practice, but the owner said, hey, if you can kind of clean it up a bunch, maybe I'll just live with this part here, but I don't want anybody to see like tire marks on the car from racing. It's a guy thing, I guess, or whatever. But anyways, we're gonna take microfiber cutting pad, 100, put it on here. I'm putting a whole lot of product. It's also been primed. The key here is you have to blow it out like crazy. So you'll see once I'm done with this, it'd be really matted and it's turned color. As you can see, this was white beforehand. Now it's black because I'm picking up the rubber. And I'm going to be sort of scalloping, so to speak, and just trying to pick off this top layer of rubber. And so the other option is to put a little bit of heat in here, but I'm trying to avoid that because I don't want to, like right here, from the actual hit, I'll pull the camera in, it's starting to fade, meaning it's starting to pull the color. So I am playing a bit, and I thought it'd be helpful to show you. Put it on. I want to have as much as possible, meaning there's more here than I would, let's say, a normal paint polish. In this case, I'm trying to keep it as lubricated and as cool as possible. Turn it on. I think I'm on about 3 or so. And then I'm just basically moving it and just trying to pick off the rubber, but at the same time, not heat it up too much. So a lot of times I'll get it spinning, see how it's spinning hardcore, and then I'll grind it in. And if you can see from my perspective, it's a little bit hard to do and hold the camera. Every time I'm doing this, get the rotation up and kind of come in, I'm just kind of gouging, which is never a great word, but gouging at the little rubber that's here, and I keep pulling it off. So with every one that I do, it pulls off a little more and a little more. But at the same time, you're trying to manage the heat. You don't want it to get too hot. So we'll hold this up like this. Look, see how matted that is? So we'll take this. Again, I wouldn't do this normally, but I have to do it on camera. So I'm gonna do it right here. Normally I do it on the ground. Watch it spin. For those of you saying, why did he do it up in the air? It's for the camera. I would be doing it down, but I'm trying to do this all in one take. That's, for paint purposes, that's way too much. But for here, it works. It started to cool down already. It's all good. And I'm really just taking it slowly. But for some reason, the degreaser is not working. And I have to tell you, I should have filmed from the beginning, but it was this big. There was a sticker right here, but it went like this, and the sticker, protected it from here. And so this thing was huge. So I figured I'd shoot the video. Let me get to work, and then we'll show the after shot. Okay guys, after, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of playing with it, I sort of came up with a new conclusion afterwards, because I haven't really like hardcore polished vinyl wrap, meaning I've polished it to kind of bring the color back, and it looks great and wonderful, but not really to take out something that in theory should be replaced. So kind of like the G55 wagon 5-6 years ago when I was playing with that touch-up, I'm pretty sure they're going to replace this. He may just go like, oh, never mind, I won't, but whatever. They basically said, hey, you can ruin this, I don't really care, go play. And I was like, ooh, a chance to sort of play with stuff and not really worry about if it's gonna be damaged. They can just rip it off, and I think they might anyways. Having said all of that, after this, I haven't really done something like this before. I've changed my thought, and the thought is, when you're using a microfiber cutting pad, instead of having it rotate as it oscillates and it rotates, typically when you're doing paint, as you know, you want it to spin or rotate. As you're rotating, you're doing, quote, work. You're cutting, you're leveling the paint, you're correcting, etc. In this case, what I found, again, I've only done one like hardcore like this, my conclusion after this one, so it's not definitive by any means, is you want to minimize the rotation and you just want it to oscillate. So it's almost like you're scrubbing so that you can get the rubber off, because that's what I was, that's what my goal was here, was to minimize the amount of rubber. Like I said, race car drivers, they don't want rubber on there. They want their car to, oh, my car's untouched. I don't know, some psychological thing. I get it. But you want to do the scrubbing. So in this case, before I was having it rotate, spin, and then grind it down. Spin, grind it down. Towards the end, I started to change my philosophy and say, okay, put it on the paint, have it rotate, but then hold it so that it oscillates. As it's oscillating, I felt like the side-to-side action was actually, I was biting, it was biting the rubber off better, and it was putting down less heat because it wasn't rotating, if that makes sense. You really want to minimize heat here because it starts to fade. Once I took the rubber off on this side, you can see it's a little bit white here. That's from the damage of it actually pushing in, the plastic here, and it damaged it during the hit, obviously. But other than that, it looks pretty good. The vinyl is brought back, and that's sort of my conclusion, inside view, if you will. But you can polish vinyl, and it looks fantastic, and you can actually get some rubber off when you have decent damage. If you cut through it, you're not going to be able to do that. If you guys have any questions, shoot me an email at larry@ammonyc.com. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.